Hello, everyone. Welcome to an all new episode of the Indic Explorer Show. I'm your host, Vineet. And please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Our podcast, basically focused on the youth, looks at Indian culture and its interplay with modernity. And there is no better way to look at Indian culture than looking at song, music, and dance. And on that note, I would like to welcome the guest of today's show, one of the finest young exponents of Carnatic music in India, Maalavika Sundar. Hi, Maalavika.
Hello, namaskaram. Hi, Vineet. How are
Namaskaram.
you?
I'm fine. And to lay some context on this show, Maalavika, my mom is a big fan, and she told me that if you're doing a podcast on Indian culture, there is no way you can't call Maalavika Sundar, She threatened me.
Auntie, thank you so
She
much.
threatened me no food at home until you invite her. So I'm going to enjoy a great meal today after this show. So thanking
Okay,
you.
so which means that you love Amma's food.
Who doesn't? So yeah.
That's true.
Anyways.
But thank you so much, Auntie, sending you lots of love and regards. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So on that note of food, a random question before we get into the crux of the show. I've heard that singers have certain do's and don'ts with regards to diet, what they can eat, what they can drink, what they should completely avoid. So I would like to know this because this is something not many people really know or talk about. And also a personal question. When was the last time you had a cone of ice cream?
I think I had my scoop of ice cream 1 week or 10 days back.
Oh.
I have it quite often, Vineet. I have it quite
Shocking.
often. I'm not a person who will say no to ice cream. Except off late, I've been a little, lactose intolerant. So milk, when I consume milk, it's not doing very well with me. So otherwise, I love ice creams. I do not restrict myself from having ice creams, or I'm not a fan of beverages, but I love ice cream.
Okay. And is there anything which is really like avoided or avoidable, which is suggested, or anything that should be had, which improves or enhances your performance in terms of what you eat or drink?
So basically, when with food, I do not know. Basically, I do not know. But recently, I had a break, a 1 month to a couple of months break where I was not able to sing. All of a sudden, there was something with my voice that was not perfectly okay, and I met a voxologist. Her name is Shamla ma'am, and she was telling me it's better to avoid maida.
Okay.
Yeah, maida is apparently not good for voice. So she was telling me, don't have pizza, don't have parota, don't have anything of that sort. So maida is not good. And yeah, there are a lot of singers where I've heard Shweta Menon, Sujata Menon, Avala Vande, they've mentioned in many places that, they don't have ice creams, they do not have cold drinks and all of that. But I do not know. I do not go by that because I feel it's a condition. If you're conditioning your voice to that, so suddenly if you're going to give some foreign thing to your body, it might not react very well. But if you're going to keep if you're going to keep having from a very young age, I do not think ice cream or a cold drink would do anything wrong. As far as I am, for me, it's never done anything wrong. Even if when I have cold, if I want to have ice cream, I have ice creams, and then I have one glass of hot water.
Cool. Great. So let's get into the crux of this conversation. And I want to go back to the start of your life, right? The most noticeable thing that I know about you is you started very early training at a traditional Gurukulam. So I want to kind of understand what was life like in a Gurukulam and what was the discipline like, and two very specific things actually. Most people find their true calling much later in life, or probably even in their midlife, they have crisis and they don't know where they are going, right? So yours is a story where you actually found your true calling very early in life. How was that? And do you miss
I think
tradition, like the mainstream schooling? Ever do you think about?
I do miss it, Vineet, because I think I was too very young when I actually went for Gurukula Vasam. And like how we say அதோட அருமை இருக்கும்போது தெரியாது அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. So I actually to be very honest, I miss it now. In fact, எனக்கு if I was now எனக்கு அந்த குருகுல வாசம் எனக்கு இப்போ கிடைச்சிருந்ததுன்னா I would be even more happier. I actually made use of it better is what I feel. Because this Gurukula Vasam happened because when I was in seventh, my dad's business was not doing well, and he all of a sudden came to us, my mom, my sister, and me, and he came to us and he said, "We'll have to shift to Delhi." And I said, I loved my music teacher, beyond the music that I was learning from her. Like, I started learning from her when I was 2.5. And the very first class I went and met her, like, my mom was like, Mami, avla class ke eduthukongo. And Mami was like, no, she's very young, she's only 2.5. Come and meet me when she's 5. My mom is like, Illa mommy, in her school, we just joined her in school. She's studying in Chinmaya Vidyalaya. They've taught her a very small bhajan. குழந்தையாக மீண்டும் கண்ணன் பிறக்க மாட்டானா புல்லாங்குழல் ஊதி என்னை மயக்க மாட்டானா. That's the song that I learned. I remember only 2 or 3 lines from that song, and mommy was actually floored, and she was like, "Oh, in the kutti koinde paadradhu. Okay, come, I'll take you for class." That's what she said. And she said, she asked me, "Where do you want to sit?" I showed her lap, it seems. And I'm a person who always I like meeting people from a very young age. I've always mingled with people. I like doing that. I've always been loved by everybody. So I was her favorite student. So when my appa came and told me that in the Madri we'll have to leave to Delhi, our business is not going great. I said, no, you leave. I'm going to stay with mommy because I loved her so much. I didn't even realize that, if I was going to take up music as my career, that understanding didn't even, hit then. I was so fascinated by mommy. I was so much in love with her that, I just wanted to stay with her. And then I started staying with her from when I was in 7th standard. 7th standard முடிஞ்சு 8th ஆரம்பிக்கும் போது. And then 10th லேந்து, okay, I got a hang of, how this Gurukula Vasam is this strict. I sometimes used to miss hanging out with friends. I sometimes used to, எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் டைம் கிடைக்காதா, can I do something else? அப்படின்னா, the regular kids mind எப்படி இருக்குமோ அப்படிதான் இருந்தது வினி. So I actually miss Gurukula Vasam now. If at all I had to do Gurukula Vasam now, I'd be like, I do not want anything else. I just want to stay focused in life. I just want to devote myself to something that I'm really that I'm really in love with. That's music. So I did 10 years of Gurukula Vasam under Srimati Padmavati Ananta Gopal and Mami, and it has been nothing but a fantastic journey.
Actually, I'm curious to know how are these Gurukula Vasams, like how are these institutions still doing well, thriving, and how is it, like, are people enrolling, like, who have an interest in music? Typically, how is that like?
I do not think so, because என்னோட generation or my contemporaries itself, I've never heard a lot of my friends saying that they've done Gurukula Vasam. And Ippo, I do not, at least I am not aware of students who do Gurukula Vasam or teachers who insist on Gurukula Vasam. I don't think so. I'm sorry, I forgot what the question was. You were asking me how Gurukula Vasam is?
Yeah, like, how are these institutions? What is the health of these institutions? Are they thriving? Are there, like you said, people are not really enrolled?
I do not think so. I do not think so, Vineet. I don't think it's still there. And எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு இல்ல.
That's
even my guru, who's still there. She's in Bangalore. So even she being like a proper and a purist, she's like, if you want to take up music as your career, I want you to leave everything. Because when I completed my 10th and I was going to join 11th standard, I'm a very நல்ல good studying student. academically also, I used to get first five rank school I used to get. So I had high aspirations. I wanted to become an architect. And so I took a computer science group. I remember mommy not talking to me for 1 week. And I didn't even understand why she was not talking, because she was actually disappointed with me that, in the Koyandik Ibro Nalla Paatu Varudhu, why isn't she not realizing that, this requires some more time? Evlo time koduthalu, it is not enough. That's what she would say. And she being a prodigy, she's Lalgudi sir's sister. And they used to live, breathe, everything was music for them. And she used to tell me that, after all these years, if you ask me how much I've learned in music, I would just say ink filler vechu or a drop if I put it on inside my palm. And the avlo periya kadal, I've just, that one ink filler or a drop that I've learned. That's what she would say. So she used to say that, it requires so much more time. Academics not tuki poda, you're just born for this. Just keep doing this.
So when did that turn? When did you then decide this is for me? Computer science, no, and music, yes. What?
No, again, as I can say, I loved mommy so much, and I was not able to take the fact that she was not talking to me.
Oh.
So
Wow.
appa I didn't realize. Realizations happened much later in my life. So mommy is not talking to me, so let me just take commerce group. So I didn't even ask my parents. My parents were not here. So my dad was in Delhi. My mom and my sister, they lived in Chennai, but I never had the time, or I never got to meet them actually, to be very honest. My sister used to come for music class just because I am there. So she used to be like, Amalu, Bhakano, or insulted. She used to come Saturdays, Sundays, and I cannot remember any day where I went home or spent time with my mom. That was from 7th standard to until I was 23 years old. I do not remember spending time with my family.
Wow.
So yeah, that's which எனக்கு தெரியல. So I used to I was எனக்கு ஒரே இதுதான். I should not disappoint mommy, and I'm not able to take the fact that she's not talking to me and she's not teaching me music. Because I used to love learning music from her, like apart from okay, in the part na katinte, because it's like so she runs a school called Sri Sadguru Sangeeta Vidyalaya, where it's not just about learning songs. Theory comes hand in hand with practical. So if you are learning a song, you should know to notate it also. So training was as such, not only for me, but for all the students who were learning from her. Because when I was learning from her, I think she had around 200 to 250 students in Sri Sadguru Sangeeta Vidyalaya. And everybody they had to finish every year. They had like an exam, theory exam, practical exam. And if you, clear the exam, then you'll be, taken to the next syllabus. It used to be like that. So I was like, mommy, and I have to learn this song. And I have to notate it. I was like, because I didn't have anything else to do. School ponalo, like I never had the time to study. I used to just write exams with whatever I learned, whatever I heard in the class. Apart from that, everything was music, and everything was music.
That's amazing. Like they say, right? You have to do some tyagam to kind of achieve something. So I think that was
correct.
But I found one very interesting talk that you did in TED Talks, where you spoke about about skill versus passion, and how sometimes it's important to tune out from what you actually do all the time to develop new ideas. I found that very interesting. Can you touch upon that a little bit?
I think so, because even so, I remember a few years before, I was actually singing Latangi Ragam for about 6 hours. And after a point, I just felt, tell me if it makes sense. I think you were asking that question only. So for me, I was practicing Latangi Ragam for 6 hours because I was not getting ideas. And after a point, I started singing the same ideas again and again. And I realized that after 6 hours of singing Latangi Ragam, and immediately I was like, no, stop this, go do something else. And then I had to return back to Latangi after a day or two. And then I thought, the flow and the creativity was much, much, much better. I do not know. I always believe in, I also tell my dad, business, if you tune out and take some time for yourself or do something else, I think when you come back to it, the productivity is more.
Yeah, that's a very
Because you keep thinking, your train of thoughts is just, ipdi. If you go do something else and come, you probably like, okay, fine. You can approach this way also. You can approach it this way also that's what I feel.
you break those conventional thought patterns and just yeah, that's true.
Yeah, sometimes my guru, I'm learning from Dr. Sriram Parshuram sir now. He also tells me that before the concert, just don't sing. It's okay to not sing. Don't practice at home. Just go do something else or listen to something else.
Yeah,
Direct up a kachari paadu.
that's sound advice actually.
And it actually works. The days I've practiced for hours and then doing a kacheri, Adavida, when I just chill at home, when I just keep doing like clean panindo or like just, watching Friends or just listening to something else and then going for a kacheri, it actually works. Because thinking about the same thing, you tend to get a little tense or you just like overthink about it. The main thing is to go to the stage and just like let go of everything and enjoy music, not for, sake of music, not for anybody else. Audience la irka, rasikara, தாண்டி you just enjoy because Kalyani is so beautiful, because Shankarabharanam is so beautiful, because Malayamartham is so beautiful. And yeah, that's how the magic happens.
What would be your advice be for young aspirants in Carnatic music? What path should they take? What would be your recommendation?
Always be a student of music. I don't think you can ever reach a place where you say that நான் எல்லாம் கத்துன்ட்டேன் அப்படின்னு வரவே வராது. Even when, because for everybody, what is success? அப்படின்னு if I ask you, what would you say, Vineet?
I would say that pursuing something that you like and eventually excelling at
Exactly.
it.
Yeah, for me, I mean, for all of us, I think success is very objective, right? What success is to you, it might not be for me. So I think for me, success is always not settling to anything, or actually making myself better or striving for something, striving for excellence more and more. There's always something more to learn. Something that you might not have noticed or something else that somebody else has. You might have your strengths, but Anna, always there are so many other things, verticals that you will have to, keep learning and keep getting better at. So for me, success is always being a student of music. Just keep striving for excellence, keep learning, till I die. I think that's what. So I think the students of music should always remain to, be students. Like you can, and okay, kattunto, that's all. அப்படின்னு இல்லாம ஐ திங்க் எப்பயுமே எதா கத்துக்கணும். பீட் ஒரு குரு கிட்ட கத்துக்கிறதா இருக்கட்டும், கோயிங் அண்ட் லேர்னிங் ஃப்ரம் சம் ஆஃப் த பிளாட்ஃபார்மா இருக்கட்டும். யூ ஷுட் ஆல்வேஸ் கீப் லேர்னிங் மியூசிக்.
Basically work.
எனக்கு அட்லீஸ்ட் ஃபார் மீ, எனக்கு ஆல்வேஸ் ஐ வாண்ட் அ குரு. எனக்கு I've never been successful in learning something from YouTube. It's just that I've learned music from like Gurukula was some hardcore and the discipline அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு விஷயத்துல I'm like so into it that I cannot, when somebody is letting me free, just do whatever you want, whenever you want, you learn something, just it doesn't happen. I still have a routine. I always write down things that I want to do next day, and anniki night I just sit down and tick what all I've done. There were days where I used to like sit and practice for 12-13 hours. Today I'm just like able to sit in 2-3 hours kadichu paadnale or periya vishayama irukku. But I still okay, with the given circumstance that I am in, okay, I'm still able to do that, and I'm happy about it. So keep learning. That's all.
Nice. So moving to the next phase of your life, which was both super singer and Indian Idol, I want to know the thought process and how did you decide to participate in both these competitions, like and the initial stage. What was your thinking like when you entered?
So I never had plans of doing any reality show. In fact, when I was in 7th standard, before Appa went to Delhi, I took part in Horlicks Saptaswarangal, which Subhashri Tanikachalam aunty used to do in Sun TV. Ramanan sir used to host the show, and myself and Haricharan, singer Haricharan, we were awarded the best male and best female, and Chitrama was the judge. And I think that was the last time I remember singing cinema music. அதுக்கப்புறம் till when I was 23, I never had anything to do with cinema music because I was not exposed to it. I never watched any movies. I never listened to any movie songs. So all of a sudden, there was a small, misunderstanding between me and my guru Padmavati Mami, and I had to leave her. Having been so attached to Mami, I didn't know what else to do because I didn't study anything. Like I did BCom, and I was doing my MBA at Symbiosis Pune through correspondence. So for me, it was like somebody, because I was never attached to my parents, and all my life it was only Mami for me. It was not nobody else. And all of a sudden, I had to like move out from Mami, and it was so devastating. I actually didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to take this. I didn't know if I had to talk about this to my parents. I used to cry, cry, cry. I seriously didn't have a direction to go because I didn't know anybody in the industry. Also, I didn't know whom to approach because for music, நம்ம போணுமா how will it be if I go and learn from somebody else? Will anybody else take me as their student? So many things were running in my head, and I was just watching TV. I remember going to, because from Chennai I went to Delhi, because I was so upset and I was so sad in life. My dad took me to Delhi. I was staying with him for a couple of months, and TV Pakamodu Super Singer came up, and my dad saw a little spark in my eyes, and he was like, probably okay, Malu's interested. This girl has been like so sad for the past few months, few days. So let us just ask her. So Appa asked me, and I was like, I think I should do something like this, Pa. I'm going actually mad. I do not know what to do in life. I do not know if I should continue studying MBA and go for a job, but I don't think that suits me. அப்படிலாம் பேசிட்டு I went to Super Singer because it was not like a planned thing. It just happened. I actually didn't have a direction to go. I chose Super Singer.
Wow. And
Yeah.
Indian Idol and Hindi must have been quite a path to cross.
Oh, that was so good. That was so good. That was a plan that I actually, I wanted to go.
Okay.
So Super Singer happened in 2010, and never did I think that I'll be in top 5. Because for me, I didn't know. Like every time a round was released, I'll be the last contestant to give songs. By the time all the good songs would have been gone, and யாருக்கோ செட் ஆகாத song அப்படியே எனக்கு வரும், அது அப்படியே நான் perform பண்ணுவேன். But there was something that Super Singer team saw in me. I was also able to adapt to a lot of styles very easily. I think it's because of my strong foundation in Carnatic music. I was very enthusiastic. Because I think for me, ஒரு ஷெல்குள்ள நான் வளர்ந்தேன் without any other distraction. For me, all of a sudden, I was just let free. There was nobody to, tell me. Because Mami, Gurukulavasam, I don't know if you know, I used to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. 4:30 to 8 would be my practice session. 8:30 I would go to college or school. Then I would come back by around 4 o'clock. Then again 4:30 to Ratri 10 maniki I would be practicing. Sometimes I would teach other students, who are juniors to me. I would teach them new songs or some other, different songs. And then from 10 to 12, Mami used to teach me a new song, or she used to train me. So this used to be the routine. So there was no time for anything else. If I used to get bored, or if my voice was strained or something like that, I used to start to notate songs. I used to learn something in theory. I used to listen to GNB sir, Semangudi sir, or Stalwarts, records la Mami used to have. So I used to listen. So it was always this. So all of a sudden, I didn't have a routine. I was like, just let free. You can do whatever you want. And in the North Pole, I just went to that South Pole where nobody can ask me anything. No, I'm not gonna listen to anybody. I can just do whatever I want. So that or a new bee madre, I was just receptive to everything. I was like, okay, attentive. Okay, vadu pandra. I should do this. I should do that. I should do this in Super Singer. So I think it kind of worked out for me. And that enthusiasm was very much appreciated and recognized by the Super Singer team, Vijay TV, the directors of Super Singer. Pratima, Pradeep Milroy sir, and Rofa, and the judges Srini sir. They liked something in me. There was something. So, na top five varaikkum varuvena edirpaakala, but I just kept giving my best, and I never used to be scared. In the part in the Karnatica paadren solrala, always there used to be the comment saying that you sang this song so well, but it was Malu style. This was so good, but it was Malu style. And I never used to understand what it was. I never used to care also. I just thought Shruti correct irukku, Talam correct irukku, emotion இப்படி கொஞ்சம் work பண்ண சொல்றா, I'll work on that. But Sangatis used to come like this, Talam, all that, the strong Carnatic foundation again. So, top five. And after that, I got an opportunity from the Mansar, and life just, there's no looking back.
Two very interesting things that you mentioned, and I've read this a lot when I've read stories from Indian epics and stuff like that, where a guru, because you mentioned right that your guru was not there and you felt some emptiness at that point, where a guru sometimes trains you, and after a while they probably feel it's out for the student to go out in the world. Just my 2 cents. I think I've read this a lot, and
Maybe.
yeah, I think it
Maybe.
was probably for you to figure out at that stage.
Maybe. I think, yeah. Yeah. When I go and visit mommy once in a while, so appo koda vandu, I can see that she's extremely proud, but she keeps saying, Carnatic mattum pannama vera edolam panninu irukke அப்படினு சொல்லுவா. But I used to think, hey, mommy இப்படி சொல்றா, எனக்கு அந்த மெச்சூரிட்டி கிடையாது. Now I know that, she's actually very proud of me. She's just not able to put it in, the words, she's just used to, and the how she was trained or how she was brought up in her life. And she just believes that there's only one way. A lot of old people, I would say, even our parties, tatas, I think they think that it's a certain way, and this certain way is the only way. So when they say, thinking about it now, I feel all the things that she told me, all the things, evlo tittirka, evlo tittu vaangirken, evlo adi vaangirken, all of that, I miss it so much. நான் வந்து மாமி இப்படி பண்ணால அப்ப புத்தியே இல்ல எனக்கு, to understand that this is what she meant, and now I'm like, I miss all of that. So I think she's extremely proud of me, but ஆனா அது ஒரு ஆசீர்வாதம் பண்றது is like very different.
Sparingly.
திட்டு கொடுத்தே. And I also feel if she doesn't scold me, even now, I feel like no, the conversation is not over. There's something more that I'm expecting, that there's something more to it.
Correct.
That's what. Yeah.
But it's you mentioned about you singing different forms of music, and that's a point I want to come to. How integrated are Hindustani and Carnatic music forms? How similar or different are they? And how do skills of one form, an exponent of one form, how well do they translate into the other, or what changes happen? Like for a Carnatic singer who suddenly sings a Hindustani song, or a vice versa, you would have seen your contemporaries doing that. What happens? And also, I wanted to know any idea on this same question on Western classical music as well.
I am so sorry, Vineet. For me, I at times Sriram sir takes Hindustani classes for me once in a while, but I still enjoy Carnatic music more than Hindustani. But for me, Hindustani enakku padi epdina, it has helped me so much in my vocal production.
Okay.
It has helped me deliver a song better. I think ஒரு Carnatic பாட்டு நான் பாடுறேன்னா கூட, I remember how my vocal training used to be before, and it has changed so much. நான் ரொம்ப பல்ல கடிச்சுண்டு இப்படி அழுத்தமா பாடணுங்கிறத நினைச்சு I used to like bite my teeth like now I can say na 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 ra. So I think learning Hindustani has helped me actually deliver Carnatic in a better way, deliver film songs in a better way, understand the emotions, like or the voice modulation, enga subtla paadnu, enga vandu you should give through. All that, I think learning Hindustani once in a while, having Hindustani classes once in a while has helped me. But otherwise, I'm afraid that I will not be able to answer the question that you'd asked.
Okay.
I'm not எனக்கு எப்படின்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. I do not
And
know.
how well, like in terms of being a Carnatic singer and just switching to, movie songs, how is that? Like,
Mhm.
how much does it help? Or,
It used to be so difficult. I never understood. So now, watching Super Singer episodes now I can understand why Srini sir or Sujata ma'am or Uni sir said it's Malu style, because it was actually pure Carnatic. For me, cinema music was Sangati Vanditta, Ragam correct arka. If the talam is right, I think the emotion was missing. I think for me, this swaram to this swaram, the Sangati comes like this. From here to here, it just falls like, or a dive madri irukku, or something like how we call the jaru, or, the swarakshanam or something. I used to always relate to film songs or anything, I used to notate and learn film songs. But there's so much more to it. After 12 years of Super Singer, now I know that, okay, fine, actually, I need to sing a film song, or I need to attempt to sing a film song like this. Because there were days where I used to keep practicing film songs, and then one day I started to sing Carnatic. I felt it was too late. There were days where I used to sing because I was, because you look up to a lot of film musicians like Chitrama, Shreya Ghoshal, Sushila Ma, Janaki Amma, எல்லாருமே வந்து they have sung in, scale D, scale E, and my Carnatic pitch is G sharp. So when I used to start to sing film songs, I used to think, why am I not able to reach there? Why is my voice not going there? So there's something called the head voice, the falsetto, and everything. So Anand sir used to help me with that, and I used to feel, I used to have this complex where why am I not able to sing in that register? So I started practicing in that register, and I stopped singing, practicing Carnatic at all. Then all of a sudden I had a concert. Somebody asked me for a concert. Then I started to practice. Okay, list podala. Let me just practice. Then I was not able to sing Carnatic, as in like the Ravitam was not there. Then I was like, oh my God. Okay, I think somewhere I need to balance the both. So what I used to do, I'll take up. So I used to, like, again, hardcore. Konja avitho extra kudutha, I started practicing Carnatic music. And how I used to practice film songs was, like, take a song, என்ன சொல்றது, இளங்காத்து வீசுதே எச போல பேசுதே தரராரராரரா நானா தரராரரா அப்படி. So முன்னாடி 12 years முன்னாடி இருந்த Malu used to sing this song as இளங்காத்து வீசுதே எச போல பேசுதே தா. It used to be so spashtam. So I used to mellow it down. So இளங்காத்து வீசுதே எச போல பேசுதே தரராரராரரா நானா தரராரரா. Then I was like, okay, fine. Actually, now it is sounding more like a film song. Oh, it's sounding more light now. Oh, this is what they were talking about. No one taught me this method, but I just thought, to understand what it is to sing Carnatic and then switch to film music, it took a long time. And I used to do experiments like this all by myself, and then used to, like, I still feel there's always a Maalavika touch to all the songs that I sing. Elangathu veesudeta and ஒரு குட்டி ஒரு Carnatic இது வரும், but I like it. I feel that that's my style. That's what, it's an individual style. So இந்த மாதிரி lots of trials and errors பண்ணிருக்கேன் Vineet.
But very interesting thing that you mentioned is the individual style, and I was always kind of curious to know, in Carnatic music, how open is it for individual experimentation, in the sense how much of the song is இப்படிதான் இருக்கணும், this is how it should be, and the singer has to adapt into that. How much room is there in terms of a Maalavika in that, in that ragam? Like, how much individualism is there?
I feel there's like actually 200, 300, like 1000% more in Carnatic.
Okay.
Because what happens in film songs is, like, a film song is composed keeping the composition in mind, keeping the singer in mind, keeping the scale in mind. Even when I am singing songs in Super Sing or somewhere else, இப்போ D ல பாடின ஒரு song or E ல பாடின ஒரு song, it sounds very different in scale G or A, but that is what I'm comfortable in, and I prefer singing it in my style again. ஒரு D or E ல or C ல பாடும்போது I'm not able to be myself, or I'm not able to do what I want to deliver. So anga ஒரு restriction வருது. And also the song is composed. It's composed for a voice. So you cannot go totally out because people do not connect then. You sang well, but it was not like them. It was not like that singer. That happens. So I feel, and you cannot keep improvising, right? Because the song is a 5-minute song or a 3-minute song or a 6-minute song. You can do here and there. You can just put a sangati here. You can just put a small intricacy here. You can probably give a ragam, like, an intro ragam parla. Or like probably if it's like a... I usually open my concerts with that song if it's a Bollywood set, and I sing like proper ragam. I do korappu with my violinist, I do proper korappu with my flautist, and we set a kanaka, and all that can happen if it's a classical bass song. Again, when it comes to a melody, or when it comes to a kuttu number, or when it comes to a western number, how much of that can you do? Again, you're restricted to a time frame. Again, you're restricted to the voice because there's always a comparison. Again, Carnatically comparison இருக்கும். அந்த மைத்ரன் பஜத்தை நீங்க பாடினீங்க, but MS அம்மா பாடினாதான் அப்படின்னு சொல்றவா இருக்கா. But again, nobody says that you cannot do something like that, or unless and until that raga frame is there, the tala frame is there, and you're not going out of the ragam. I think there is 1000% more, or like complete freedom for you to explore more in Carnatic music. To be like completely yourself.
That's an interesting take. And Carnatic music has always been so strongly associated with the tradition, the spiritual heritage of India, How do you see, like, do you think the art form can be separated from the spirituality, the philosophy, and, when you're singing a Carnatic song where someone is, like a gopi is yearning for Krishna or something like that, What do you think about that? Like about tradition and music, Carnatic music?
I go by it. I'm a traditionalist. I just love being that way. For me, if a song has like a Shringara rasam, or if it has like a Bhakti rasam, I understand what the meaning is, and other Tyagarajar padirka or somebody else, the composer potrika, if I was in his or her place, how would my emotion be? That's what I do. And I feel it's like, there's almost like so much of, so many things, avlo plenty unak available irukku. You do not have to do anything new. Just stick by the devotion, just stick by the tradition, because I was also in a phase, Vineet, where hey apdi paadano, hey ipdi paadakudadu, all that is there. But of late I've been realizing everything has already been done. It's already been done. You take one Nedunuri sir's recording, or you go and listen to somebody else, Esther years la paadirukrava, I feel like it's all done. And adhilend the inspiration vandu whatever I can do, or whatever the youngsters nammala enna pandromo, it's just coming in a different way, avlodha. I think it's all been done. In fact, even better.
Okay.
In fact, even better. It's now every time I listen to a Carnatic concert, like YouTube la, Spotify la, I'm like, oh my god, how come, like eppadi ivlo pannirkel neenga, like na edume pandradilla, feel, it's been everything is done with it. So angende eduthu edho konjam நம்ம பண்ணாலே போறோம் தான், அதுக்கே ஆஹா ஓஹோ அப்படினா, we get responses from audience. It's been appreciated really well, and it's all been done. So now I don't think I'll do something new. I'll try and be myself. Ennale enna expression la mudiyadhu, because music is a way of language. It's how I express myself on stage. It's how I like expressing myself. So I'm just like enjoying the process.
I always get that feeling whenever I speak to Carnatic singers, is that they all feel that it's a tradition that's been continuing, and they are all adding their 2 cents to it, right? Like it's a very humbling...
Proud.
Yeah.
Too proud.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And since this podcast is focused to the youth and Indian culture, and I really feel that you're one of those people who really navigate this balance of, like you said, you're a traditionalist, but at the same time, you're also a part of the modern world, right? You embrace modernity as well.
Mm-hmm.
How do you draw that
Mm-hmm.
balance?
I do not know. I really, I do not like balance பண்ணணுங்கிறதுக்கு எதுவுமே இல்ல. I do not have an answer to that. I'm just doing whatever I feel like. For me, if you ask me, you like singing Carnatic music, you like singing kuttupata, you like singing this, I think I give my fullest 200% to whatever I do. I just enjoy it. You know, every song, there are people who ask me, why எல்லாருமே உனக்கு குத்துப்பாட்டே தந்துருக்கா? I said, அந்த குத்துப்பாட்டு வரதும் எனக்கு ஒரு பெரிய எனக்கு சந்தோஷத்தை தான் தருது. And every music that who has given me a song, I'm just grateful to everybody. And when I get on to Carnatic music, Carnatic music perform பண்றதுக்கு when I get onto a stage, it's like the same enthusiasm. In fact, more. So I don't think I just my mind has never thought எப்படி நம்ம பேலன்ஸ் ஸ்ட்ரைக் பண்றது அப்படின்னு நினைச்சதே கிடையாது. I just take up whatever comes my way. I'm a very என்ன சொல்றது, I love experimenting things. I'm a person who loves doing new things. I never stop myself on like unless it's like oh இது பண்ணவே முடியாது or பண்ணவே கூடாது அப்படின்னு இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் I never stop myself. Luckily, fortunately, I've been blessed with a family who always tells me that you know just do whatever you can, just do whatever you want to. So I keep pushing my boundaries. I take inspirations from my friends, from the music that I hear. So I basically don't think of drawing any balance. I just do whatever I feel like doing.
Okay.
But for me, off late, I feel like classical music. Sometimes I feel that you know when I go perform in a concert, I just wish there were more youngsters. Like even my friends who come for my film gigs, they sometimes refrain themselves from coming to a Carnatic concert, and sometimes I wonder why. Because Carnatic music is so supreme. I mean, not to put down any genre or any kind of music, but for me, I've been raised 2.5 years Linda. I've been what I know is Carnatic music, and I'm very proud to say, you know, whatever I've gone through and என்னெல்லாம் கத்துருக்கேனோ, I'm very grateful everything for everything. You know, being with mommy, learning from her, coming out of Gurukulavasam and learning from somebody else, or whatever has happened, you know, be it a good thing or a bad thing. I think I'm just grateful for everything because adala illana, I don't think I am what I am today. ஸோ எப்பயுமே நான் இது பண்ணாலும் எனக்கு கிளாசிக் மியூசிக் வந்து ஏதாவது பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு எனக்கு இருக்கும். ஸோ இப்போ ரீசெண்டா ஐ ஸ்டார்ட் டூயிங் கிளாசிக்கல் ஃபியூஷன் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி பிகாஸ் ஐ ஜஸ்ட் ஃபீல் லைக் கிளாசிக்கல் மியூசிக்ல சோ மெனி சாங்ஸ். வை டோன்ட் யூ கைஸ் கம் அண்ட் லிசன் டு கான்சர்ட்ஸ்? லைக் என்னோட கான்சர்ட்ஸ்னே கிடையாது, தேர் ஆர் சோ மெனி பிரில்லியன்ட் ஆர்டிஸ்ட். ஸோ வை டோன்ட் யூ கோ லிசன் அப்படிங்கறதுனால I sometimes feel that probably is it like the sounding. Because when they listen to a psychedelic track or like a trance music or like an EDM, அப்ப வந்து ஒரு கற்பகவல்லியோ இல்ல மகாகணபதியமோ இல்ல வந்து அந்த இவாளோடது இருக்கே சுவாமிநாத பரிபாலயா ஷோமாம், இது ஒரு ஐ டோன்ட் ரிமெம்பர் த பேண்ட்ஸ் நேம், ஏல ஆரம்பிக்கும். அகம் யா ரங்கபுர விஹார மனவியால all that is there. So I just feel okay, இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பேக்கேஜ் பண்ணி கொடுத்தா, இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சவுண்டிங்ல கொடுத்தா, people are actually like youngsters, they actually like it more than the other genres that they're actually listening to. So I feel being a Carnatic musician all my life, I want people to listen to Carnatic music. So whenever I do classical fusion concerts, I'll just like do whatever different the sounding guitar idadallam pannittu, I'll tell them, you know, this song is a very beautiful collection. You must go and listen to other artists who have performed on YouTube or just season time la or any kacheri that you know that's happening in and around your area. Just go and listen to their concert. That's what I tell them.
So what?
Because the art form is so rich. It's so rich. It's so beautiful.
What do you think of the new emerging genre of Carnatic rock?
I like it. I think Agam is Carnatic rock. Yeah. So I am a fan of Agam. எனக்கு ஹரி சிவராமகிருஷ்ணன் ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். And every time we go out, ஏதாவது கார்ல music play பண்ணுவோம், or when we are with friends, when we party, every time there's an Ragam track. And I take a lot of inspiration from their music as well.
You mentioned about how you don't see too many youth coming to Carnatic kacheris and concerts, right? And I have a theory behind this. I think that the way Carnatic artists are trained and educated, to appreciate Carnatic music also, the rasas, the rasikas, have to be trained in some way. What do you think about that? Maybe understand, not from a singer point of view, not from a singing point of view, but from analyzing, like, what is a Carnatic note? What is the structure of a Carnatic song? How is this raga supposed to sound? From a listener's point of view. Maybe, do you think that can help?
Like for me, I feel like in case you're listening to another track, Vineet, if it's not Carnatic, do you actually know what scale it is in, or what mode it is in, like Lydian mode, இது கல்யாணினா Lydian mode அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவா, மேஜரா மைனரா, இதுல வந்து என்ன இது ப்ளூஸா இல்ல வந்து ஹிப்ஹாப்பா, do you actually go in so much and you actually study the song? I'm out of curiosity, I'm asking.
Not that deeply, but some basic understanding, from a...
Yeah, so why do you think that Carnatic music is it hard? Do you think that it sounds very complex?
Not. So firstly, I think one thing could be that's because many of the songs are in probably a language that people, maybe a Malayali will not understand a Telugu song, or a Kannadiga might not understand it. That is one aspect of it, right? Because our love for cinema music is also because the language is the language that we see around us, right? So that is one aspect.
No, I do not understand Hindi, but I love singing Hindi songs. I went to Indian Idol without knowing Hindi. Like, I know to read and write. I cannot speak. I cannot speak, but I can pronounce the words properly. Like how we say music has no language. So, I mean, this is a discussion that I'm having with you. I'm not trying to prove or say something that this is right or this is wrong. But for me, I have also had these thoughts. So I'm thinking for a Carnatic song, okay, first they don't understand the language. Again, my mind thinks, okay, நம்ம கேக்குற நிறைய பாட்டு, இப்ப மலையாளம்ல வந்து எனக்கு லாங்குவேஜ் தெரியாது, தெலுங்கு I do not know, எனக்கு தமிழ் தவிர வேற எதுவுமே தெரியாது. In fact, to be very honest, even English songs I don't understand unless and until I look at the lyrics.
Same.
Yeah. So for me, again, I'm circling back to why is it hard then?
So you're saying, you're saying that for someone to appreciate Carnatic music, just as an audience, as a listener, you don't even need to understand you just sit there and you just soak in the experience. That should be enough. That's not an impediment.
I feel so. For me, it is, Vineet. Again, எனக்கு தெரியாது. So you might think, or even I am thinking now that, நீ என்ன இப்படி சொல்ற, சும்மா உட்காண்டா போறோன்னு, உனக்கு நீ கர்நாடிக் மியூசிக் கத்துன்னு இருக்கே, so you're saying this. That's what is coming to my mind now. So I'm not able to think from a person who is entirely new to Carnatic music mind what will actually be running when she or he is listening to a Carnatic song, and I'm not able to decode that.
Yeah, I mean, some hook.
And I do not understand why some people say it is so boring. So for my understanding, I feel it is the sound. Sound different-ஆ கொடுத்து அவளை கொஞ்சம் ட்ரெயின் பண்ணி இந்த மாதிரிலாம் இருக்கு, like bits of alapana, bits of swaram here and there, bits of the song here and there. If you're going to introduce Carnatic music through a different sound, will they be redirected here? That is my journey. That is what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not able to even understand why it is boring. It is like a heavy conflict that I have within myself. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? I do not know.
Because, the worry there is that the more people there are to appreciate, the more obviously few of them will at least be inspired to take it up. It's always a ratio, right?
Correct,
The
correct,
fewer people listening, the even fewer there will be in numbers getting into it at formally getting trained. It's all linked kind of, right? I mean,
correct, correct,
someone
correct,
somewhere is looking up to a Maalavika and saying, "Oh, she's sing. I want to be that." It's always that idol that you want,
correct,
right? So it's
correct,
it's it's a
correct.
code that somehow needs to be cracked.
I think for me, I feel, Vineet, instead of you, telling yourself that I want to be a Maalavika one day, I want to be T.M. Krishnanna one day, I want to be Ranjini Guy. Instead of that, I just feel sometimes a Rasika's duty is even more. என்ன சொல்றது நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி they should come for the concert. I feel this might work. So once introduce them to Carnatic through a different sound and get them to concerts. And then they'll start asking, because my husband, I remember the first time he's never listened to a Carnatic concert. என்ன பார்த்து அப்புறம் தான் first time Carnatic music he came to my music academy concert last year. That's the very first time he listened to Carnatic. And then he was telling me I didn't understand anything. Sometimes I felt, என்ன பண்றதுனே தெரியல and all of that. Then I heard him listen. I mean, I saw him listen to a track, some EDM or some trance track. அதுல வந்து கற்பகவல்லி பொற்பதங்கள் பணிந்தேன் நற்கதி அருள்வாயம்மா அப்படின்னு வந்தது. I said, this is Carnatic. How come you're listening to it now? Then he's like, no, this is like, I don't know, I'm grooving to it. Then I said, see, then கொஞ்சமா then he likes Beam Plasi. திடீர்னு வந்து so he is actually very open to listening to other genres. He never restricts himself. In fact, I would say என்னை விட he listens to a lot of music. He introduces me to a lot of new artists. Listen to him, listen to her, that's what he says. So I started telling him இந்த மாதிரி ராகம்லாம் வருது, இந்த மாதிரி ராகம்னா இந்த மாதிரி ஸ்வரம், இந்த டியூன். So whenever he listens to Hridayamla வந்து there are songs in Beam Plasi Ragam. So he tell me, Mal, I think you told me something, no? இந்த மாதிரி டியூன்ல ஏதோ நீ சொன்னல என்கிட்ட. He tells me that. I say, yeah, nagumo muganale ninada. நான் பாடுவேன். Oh, that's why I like Nagumomo. That's why I like this song. I think it is in the same ragam, no? That's what he does. So slowly he comes to my Carnatic concerts. He tells me that நீ இங்க வந்து இது பண்ண. I think I like that portion. So slowly his interest is getting more and he likes listening to a lot of other. So he tells me December we'll go to this concert, that concert. He tells me that. And then I think on the audience point of view, coming to a concert, listening to a concert, enjoying the concert, Tandi, that's when that switch to audience to a Rasika happens. I think Rasika is a more
evolved.
The status is wearing your. And a Rasika can come and tell a performer that, this Ragam, I think, I thought some other song, there are Rasikas who come up to me and tell me, you sang a Ragam like this. I actually thought the way you built up that Ragam, I thought you will be singing this song. Then I'm like, oh my God. So how much that Rasika has noticed. And I feel responsible to actually, ஒரு concertku there'll be Rasikas like this, so I cannot disappoint him or her. So that happens. I think for me, I feel in the Madri Aishan Polana. I don't know. These are just random thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, interesting take though. I mean, Rasikas can be demanding. I mean, yeah.
And I think that's when I think an artist can
grow,
prepare more, grow. Yeah, the progress happens. Otherwise, Kurai Ondrumillai or idha kekran. Kurai Ondrumillai is a beautiful song, but and the Kurai Ondrumillai தாண்டி, there are நிறைய இது இருக்கு. Because குறை ஒன்றும் இல்லை ஒரு சின்னஞ்சிருக்கிலே வந்து துக்கடா அந்த இதுலயே இருக்கு. பட் துக்கடாஸ்லயே வந்து there are so many other துக்கடாஸ். So I think sometimes ரசிகா நம்மள புஷ் பண்ணானா நம்ம பயங்கரமா வந்து இன்னும் enthusiastic will perform.
Yeah. So, okay, we're coming to the final stage. I want to do a rapid fire round with you. Quick question and answers.
Sure, done.
Okay. Konja
Done.
coffee
Yeah.
with Anu inspiration. So yeah.
Done.
Okay. So okay. Who are your influences in Carnatic, Hindustani, and Western music? One artist each.
எனக்கு ஹிந்துஸ்தானில வந்து ஐ லைக் ராஷித் கான், ஹரிபிரசாத் சௌராசியா, பீம்சன் ஜோஷி. இன் கர்நாடிக் எனக்கு டிஎம் கிருஷ்ணா ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். ஐ லைக் சண்முடி தாத்தா, ஐ லைக் மணி மதுரமணி ஐயர், ஐ லைக் நேதனுரி சார். வெஸ்டர்ன்ல ஐ டு நாட்
Not
நோ.
much into.
எனக்கு வந்து ஐம் அ வெரி என்ன சொல்றது, இங்கிலீஷ் நான் கேட்கவே மாட்டேன். நான் வந்து ஐ லிசன் டு பாப்
Okay.
அண்ட் ஐ லவ் ப்ரூனோ மார்ஸ்.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is your favorite Ragam?
I like Charu Kesi, Sindhu Bhairavi. Yeah.
Okay. Your best friend from Indian Idol and Super Singer? ஒரு பேரு.
Okay, Indian Idol until like இப்போ வரைக்கும் I talk with my friend called Bharti once in a while, but there are few other favorites. I like Khuda Baksh, I like Mohit. Yeah, these two.
Okay.
And from Super Singer, Deepak.
Okay. Sure, of
Yes.
course. Your favorite Indian musical instrument?
I like tambura, veena, violin. I like Jaladarangam.
Okay.
I actually like Kanjira.
Kanjira. Okay.
எனக்கு பெர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணும்போது it gives me a high listening to Kanjira.
Okay.
Yeah. And a well resonating mridangam also.
Okay.
Yeah.
A common myth about Carnatic singers that you would like to bust?
எனக்கு புரியல கேள்வி.
Myth as in something that people think about Carnatic singers which is not true.
They think that we are very rigid. That's not true.
Okay.
We are not like they think that we don't like having fun. We have a lot of fun.
Of course.
They're boring people. No, we are not.
Okay. Great. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
not too many having ice creams, I'm sure.
Hey, there are people. You should see Carnatic musicians are so chill.
Really? I don't know. The stereotype is very disciplined and, prim and proper.
I am also disciplined.
Yeah.
I'm still disciplined.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe discipline உங்க வார்த்தையில் சொன்னா probably I'll be like வயிற்று வாரிண்டு முன்னணி வரைக்கும் பின்னிண்டு. No. அந்த மாதிரி if I was still with mommy I would do that. But yeah. நான் பார்த்தேன், நான் தலைமுடி விரிச்சு போட்டுட்டு பண்ணிருக்கேன் அப்படின்னு
சொல்லுவாங்க. She's watching, ஒரு குட்டு வர போறது.
That's okay. I love her.
So yeah, you are now, so this is rapid fire is done. You are also now into acting and what are your upcoming projects? Singing, acting, anything else that you would like to tell the viewers about?
Yes, actingல வந்து எதுவும் கிடையாது.
Okay.
Singingல so I have my, I don't know when this is going to be telecast, so எனக்கு தெரியல. I have my live-in concert happening on December 18th at Phoenix Market City. That's my first big show. Like I've done a lot of corporate film gigs, like abroad I have like Maalavika Sundar live-in concert பண்ணிருக்கேன். But in Chennai, this is going to be my like first big concert, and I'm like really looking forward to that. So I have some classical fusion songs lined up, some commercials, and I'm also going to sing my 2 original songs where நானே எழுதி நானே டியூன் பண்ணி பாடுறேன். I've not recorded it anywhere. It's not out there on Spotify or any other platform, but I usually sing it in my live concerts. So this is going to be like, it's going to be for a bigger audience. So I'm looking forward. And today for Meera Music, my track got released. Sagara Shaina Vibhona. I've collaborated with Raj Pandit, a producer from Bombay. He's done a lot of tracks for Salim Merchant. The Sufi score, like you've heard that Sukhvinder sings and Nikita Gandhi is like, and Katiroro and the பாட்டெல்லாம் வந்து he's produced it like கொஞ்சம் இது பண்ணிருக்காரு. So I worked with him on this track and it's out today. And I'm writing few more songs. I'm also collaborating with few more artists to, do classical fusion things. And yeah, so I'm bringing a new stage name for myself. So Maalavika Sundar அப்படிங்கறது தாண்டி I like future I would be referred to as and Maalavika on stage. It's basically எப்படின்னா I always feel எவ்வளோ ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி எனக்கு இருக்கோ to be on stage and to deliver the best. I feel my music enhanced when I'm with the right musicians. They play a huge role. So I've always wanted to put my musicians before me. I've always loved collaborating. I believe in coexistence. I believe in growing together. I believe in, uplifting each other. So it's called and Maalavika. So whenever, if I'm going to collaborate with you someday, it'll be like Vineet and Maalavika. So that will be my stage name. So these are some new things that I've been working on. So this new track is also like Sagara Shayana Vibho, Raj Pandit and Maalavika. So this is like a journey where I'm bringing to the world more of Carnatic music. I'm telling people the beauty of Carnatic music and how every musician is important on stage, and every musician who's working on a track is equally important as the center stage performer. So these are some ethics that I always like to follow, and I like being that way. So the madri few things.
So now Maalavika becomes and Maalavika, so it's like a
And
brand
Maalavika.
now. It's beyond a name. It's beyond a person.
Yeah.
Interesting. Maalavika, it's been a fascinating conversation to have with you. I've thoroughly enjoyed this chat.
Thank you.
I hope it was the same for you as well. It's
Definitely.
certainly one of my best shows. And
Thank you.
yeah, I want to thank you for joining us in the middle of a very busy season. And yeah, so thank you so much, everyone. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will be signing off to have a heavy, hearty meal today. Thanks to Maalavika.
Before that, thank you so much, Vineet. Thank you so much, Auntie, for again telling Vineet to ask me for this beautiful podcast. Thank you, Vineet. I had so much fun. In fact, it's been quite some time, talking about my Gurukul Vasam, talking about my gurus and everything. So, in fact, எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்சிருந்தது. I loved this session. And we didn't plan anything, right? I didn't plan anything. இந்த மாதிரி answer பண்ணணும் because அப்படியே flowல வந்தது. So, in case if I haven't answered to any of your questions properly, I'm very sorry about that. But I had a great time. Thank you for having me, and good luck with your other episodes.
Thank you. See you around, guys.